Hi everyone, I'm Kodibara. I'm back with a new video. Today I want to rank the quirks of My Hero Academia based on how useful they would be in a bed setting. Again, I'm going to rank the quirks usefulness, not the attractiveness of the characters, because if I did that, the ranking would look something like this. This is part 1. I'm going to be ranking the students of UA, at least the ones that we know the quirks of. First one is Denki, and his quirk is extremely dangerous because you can get shocked while doing the stuff. Kirishima's quirk is kinda useless because men can already get hard like him in specific areas, so it doesn't really make a difference. If you have this quirk, every time you have sex with somebody, it's at minimum a threesome. And I think Dark Shadow can come in handy because I think he can change shape. Zero's quirk is only useful for tying down someone, so you have to be into bondage. This guy's quirk is just he shoots scales that are really sharp, which is fine for fighting, but it's not good for this context. Ibarra's quirk usefulness in bed only depends on how sharp the vines are, because if they are not sharp, it's okay. I just know that every single girl in the MHA universe is praying that Kendo is into women because look at these hands. Deku's quirks, most of them are useless except from Whiplash, so I think if you are into that, it goes here. This guy's quirk is also really specific in bed because you have to like hair and gigantism. This guy's quirk is useless in this setting, it just makes everything mushy. So unless your fetish is being part of the bed, I don't find any other use. Bakugan's quirk is extremely dangerous. In general, like you can sweat from 1,000 of reasons. So you are basically a walking bomb if you have this quirk. If you have the mushroom quirk, I think it could be dangerous because I think there are certain fungi that can affect the funny area. If you can control how sticky the glue is, I think you can find some uses. This guy can rotate any part of his body. So if you have this quirk, I think it's fine. Does it hurt if you have like a drilling machine in your certain area? Koda's quirk is useless. I mean, you can make a case that he is as hard as Kirishima, but his appearance is not based on his quirk. He just looks like that. Gyro, Jiro's quirk is just useless in this context. I mean, the earlobes can get really long. Manga's quirk, I think it's fine if you are okay with not having any face or eyes or mouth, but you can make words appear, and I think you can have certain control based on shape and size. Ojiro's quirk is usually useless, but in this context, maybe if you shave the tail. Soji's quirk is really useful for this context because you can create any body part out of your body. So I think you can have some like really interesting parties. If you have Mina's quirk, I'll put it in dangerous because if you are like her and you are immune to the acid, yeah, it's slimy, it's free lube. But if you are not immune to this quirk, it's basically you are dead. Mineta's quirk is just useful at sticking things together. So again, you have to be into bondage or into anal beads. Video's quirk is also really useless in this context. You can just go through walls or through objects or through people, but I don't feel anything. Momo's quirk is extremely useful because you can create any object, any shape, any color, any size you want. So you can have fun by yourself. You don't even need someone else. Monomath quirk is also perfect because he can copy these other quirks that are really useful. And I think you can do so for like 5 minutes, and that's 4 more minutes than I need to finish the job. Nature's quirk is useless. I don't think the wave thingy can hurt you, but it's also not useful either. This guy's quirk is just throwing things twice, which I don't find any use in bed. Ochako's quirk is just making someone float, and it also gives you nausea. So unless you want to create two girls, one cup in space, I can't find any other use. Pony's quirk is also for specific uses because you can use these horns to move around, tie somebody. Reiko's quirk is also really good because you can make objects fly around, move, smash into each other, so you can have fun all by yourself. If you have Sato's quirk, it's just useless. I mean, yeah, you are kind of strong, but you can also do that if you go to the gym very often. Kaibara's quirk is making air into glass, and we've probably all seen why you should not put glass into a certain area. Tokage's quirk is just cat-like for this. Like Momo's, you can have fun all by yourself. You don't even need someone else. The only thing this guy can do is basically morph into black things, and I cannot find any use of that in the bedroom. Even though a lot of people in My Hero Academia want to have this guy's quirk, I think it's considered really cool. In the bedroom, the only use I can find is that if you turn eyes into certain shapes. Tamaki's quirk is also really creative, like Momo's, because you can make certain things come out of your body and you can get really creative. Kenya's quirk is just running around. I don't find any use of it. This guy is just another version of Kirishima. This guy can make knives, and knives are dangerous. If you are into having SEX with someone invisible, I think you can find a specific use for this. Toyo's quirk is kind of useless for this context, except from one specific feature that puts it here. Awase's quirk is just sticking things onto other things. So I think you could find some very specific fetishes, but there is not much room for creativity. Yui's quirk is changing size of things. So again, maybe you can find some specific uses. Oyama's quirk is actually dangerous because you have a laser coming out of your belly button, which I think can cut onto things. So that would be really risky. There have to be people who have like some hypnotic fetish. So I think you can get consent from that. Otherwise, it's just extremely unethical. Next time, I'll be ranking the quirks of pro heroes and teachers, which I think would be a bit more interesting. So, see you later. Bye.